I'm a big believer in the law of attraction. Like, you just, like, bring things into existence. You gotta get behind the wheel before it becomes real. I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that you can speak things into existence. I'm gonna believe that I'm gonna be better than him. It's the power of the mind.
Every ounce of training you put in leading up to this fight will be a waste of your life.
I honestly believe that I was born to fight.
But I just feel it in my whole being that I'm the best fighter on the planet.
It's like an internal belief. I honestly have convinced myself that I'm not designed to lose.
And I genuinely believe that I can do anything. I can't have Dana White out there saying Jon Jones is the GOAT, he's the best, and then I go out and I suck and I don't perform at a high level. So it does put pressure on me, but it just makes me want to go harder and do the extra, and eat healthy, go to bed early, stay hydrated, you know, do my proper recovery protocol, you know, do my meditation, my visualization. Like, I do everything. Literally everything to perform at the highest level. I take no shortcuts, and I like proving people wrong, like the haters, and I like proving people right, like my boss. Yeah. The biggest life lesson that I've learned is the power of the mind, and just how important it is to look at yourself at a high regard and to believe in yourself. I think in order to paint a bright future for yourself, you have to be able to see it in your mind. You have to believe in it, and the more you believe in it, you know, the more your world will start to change, and the more you'll just start to, you know, see your beliefs come to pass. So, to answer your question, just self-belief.
Do you meditate, Jon?
I used to meditate a lot. Now I'm more big into visualization. I went through this huge spiritual thing where I became obsessed with the power of the mind, and I got into it deep, like really deep, just meditation, visualization, and just realizing how powerful our minds actually are, like how we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief. Right around 2010, I just took myself to this different mental level where I took myself from being very average-minded to actually believing that I was the shit, and believing that I could be the shit and that I could be the GOAT and be the greatest and never lose. Into, like, I took myself to a different place mentally, and a lot of it came from mental practice and meditation and visualization and just seeking knowledge from people who are strong believers, guys like Les Brown and Tony Robbins and guys like that. I just became really obsessed with just learning about the power of the mind. So I used to meditate. Now I just I have a lot of things that stuck with me, a lot of ways of believing that stuck with me, that just subconsciously I know who I am, what I'm capable of, and how I believe, and how powerful my mind actually is.
You said you could take me down 100 times out of 100 times, right? And that's what you're gonna do, right? I challenge you to get me down 5 times in that 5-round fight. You won't be able to do that. Maybe you will get me down once. I believe in my whole heart that I'll get you down too. But the difference is, when I get you down, your face will open up. There is nothing you can do to stop me from coming at you round after round with emotion to believe it. Every ounce of training you put in leading up to this fight will be a waste of your life.
He might be a better wrestler than me, but you know, like I said, you gotta have confidence in yourself. So even if, you know, collegiately he had a better career than me, you know, I'm gonna believe that I'm gonna be better than him. You know, it's the power of the mind, and you know, I believe that I'm going to stuff his takedowns. And if he does take me down, I believe that I'll be amazing on my back. You know, it's just got to think for the best and, you know, train for the worst.
What do you think the sport's going to be, you know, when UFC 200 rolls around? And where do you think you're going to be 9 years from now, 10 years from now?
I'm hoping to be a champion.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to be a champion. I'm believing that I'll be a champion. You know, I would love to grab the belt, hang on to it, and, you know, be the next GSP or be the next 𝐉𝐨, and, you know, keep the fans excited. The UFC is growing, and it's just a tremendous thing to be a part of. It's changed my life, and I embrace what it is to the fullest. I'm just excited to be a part of it. I have a lot of pride in it. It's like one of the best years of my life, man, because I went from a very average thinking person, like just average 19-year-old,
yeah,
to get in. I don't like reading, so I literally got on all these TED Talks and on YouTube, and I just started YouTubing videos about self-belief and what does it mean to be confident, and what does it mean to be a winner, and how do you become a winner. And I would watch hours and hours of Tony Robbins and Les Brown and TED Talks, and I like taught myself how to believe in myself and how to think that I was greater than just this kid that was a dropout who, you know, never really had great grades, never really was the starter, never was the captain of a team. I was just always kind of this average person, and overnight I taught myself
that I could be great and change myself forever. And I'm forever grateful. I'm never going back.
The biggest lesson I've learned as a father of 4 beautiful daughters is belief. You know, I teach my daughters all the time just to believe in themselves wholeheartedly. And, you know, right now their self-esteem and their confidence is sky high. And it's something that I think is taught, you know, to believe in yourself. 3 things that has helped me get to the point that I am now, and something that you can take with you, is studying. You know, a lot of athletics is not just a physical thing. You know, I try to study my competition. I try to study nutrition. I try to study other great athletes, guys who've done great things in the past, and try to model, you know, myself after them. So I'm big on the mental game when it comes to being an athlete, sports psychology and things like that. So really focusing on the mind, not only the body, is important. I think nutrition is extremely important, and I'm very aware of what I'm putting in my body. I think what you put in is what you get out, and it took me a long time to realize that. But you know, since I've taken nutrition a lot more serious, I see much greater results in my training, my mental attitude, my alertness, everything. I mean, it's a direct relationship. My goal for 3 years now is to become the heavyweight champion of the world. It's what I pray about, it's what I sleep on, it's what I dream about. It is who I am, and I will get it done. I have a good way of detaching something inside of me and seeing what's happening. And okay, oh no, it's not over. All you gotta do is just do this, do that, do that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not necessarily meditating these days, but I do have the capability of taking away who I actually am at this point and realizing that this is just a part of me, or this is just a situation in my life. This isn't my actual life. This isn't my final destination. This is just a small moment in time that I'm going through right now. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's my form of meditation. I step away from terrible situations and look at myself as if it's the future, and I'm looking back on what's happened to me or what's happening, and I say, okay, how can I get myself out of this? How can I make this better? What do I need to do to turn this around? What do I being completely immersed in the moment and thinking that, oh, I can't get out of it, like, you know.
And you're the only one. It's amazing. 9 years, right?
Still here, man.
And it's amazing, like, if nothing crazy happened in your life, just to be champion for 9 years is absurd, right? In the fight game, that's just a crazy thing. And then when you consider everything that you've been through and that you're still here and still on the top of your game, are there times where you sit back, you're at your home in bed at night thinking like, man, I'm a lucky guy because some crazy stuff has happened. I'm still here. I haven't lost. I haven't gotten knocked out. I haven't gotten clipped. You know, you could get clipped. Anyone could get clipped.
Yeah,
do you have moments where you're like, man, how did this happen? Like, how have I been able to stay on top for this long? Do you have moments where you talk to yourself like that?
You know, I do, and I always just point it back to God, man. Honestly, man, it's God's grace, and I know everyone's not a believer, and a lot of people think, I wish you just wouldn't talk about God, but it really is God's grace. It really is, man. He has sustained me through so much, through the death of my mother, through facing a 4-year suspension. Through just my dumb mistakes. He's probably protected me in ways that I don't even know he has. But really, I just pointed to God's grace, man.
For a guy who I believe was a janitor, right? And you got into this because you needed to get some money for diapers, right?
Yeah, I was applying I was a bouncer, actually, making $50 a night. And I was applying to be a janitor because I would have benefits.
Wow.
And right when I was waiting to get the call back, someone wrote me on Twitter, a guy named 𝐏𝐨𝐬, a kid that I never met. And he said, hey, my cousin owns an MMA gym in Cortland, New York, which is about 45 minutes away. I didn't have a car. And I was driving my fiance's car to commute over to these practices. I got that phone call on a Saturday night, and I was heading to my first practice that next Monday. The kid changed my life forever. He just planted a seed in my MySpace and changed my life forever.
Why'd he reach out to you? Just like that?
God's grace, man.
Wow. You were not training at all?
Not training at all.
About to have a baby, right?
About to have a baby, applying to be a janitor. And
janitor for what building? Do you remember?
I think it was like 𝐷𝐿𝐴 Martin.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this guy writes to you and says...
I had a picture on my MySpace, and I had been weightlifting a little bit, and I had a hat on backwards, and I had some UFC gloves on, and I was posing, you know.
It's never over. As long as you never quit, it's never over. I'm back here.
Yeah, Josh, I honestly believe that I was born to fight. I really believe it in my whole heart, you know, and some people think that's silly. But I think a lot of great athletes, people who are really good at what they do, um, it's more than just what they can do in the gym. It's something that starts way before they're known in the arenas. It's something that it's like an internal belief. And I honestly have convinced myself that I'm not designed to lose. I believe that if I study my opponent, I give these guys the utmost respect and attention they deserve. I don't think that I was designed to lose to any person. And when you have that level of self belief, it's hard for you to, you know, you just feel like you're being disrespectful to your path, to your destiny by allowing your human emotions to take over and showing fear and all that type of stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I have the worst anxiety. I get very nervous, but I owe it to myself to not be afraid, and I owe it to my beliefs to just fucking get out there and do something rare and special. It's a gift, and I really believe it's a gift. I have a lot of hard work, but I believe it's a gift.